Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 31st of March. My name is Phillip Kingston.
And I'm Lior Samuel.
And yes, you are Lior Samuel, and it's great to have you here today.
Thanks,
Congratulations to Lior Samuel, not just for being on GPTV, but we're here at the Rosstown Hotel in Kunang Road, Carnegie, to celebrate with you, Lior. Congratulations on the opening of Gary Peer & Associates' third office at number 42.
Kunang Road, Carnegie.
And it's so exciting to be here. We've been working on this, viewers, for many years. Lior has been with us how many years?
8 years.
8 years,
yeah.
And there's some lovely stories of which you'll tell us about in a moment. But it's with great pleasure that we're here at the Rosstown Hotel to have a few drinks and to celebrate your new office, which is across the road, which is a rebranded Biggin & Scott office.
Scott, Carnegie. Yeah.
That office there, Lior, was there for how many years?
I believe it's their signature office. They're one of their first.
Yeah. I believe it was there for over 40 years, and they're a great company, but we are very excited to have taken their office and rebranded it. We'll get some footage up there on file at the moment, but just sensational to
Very
be
exciting.
here. And you're a bit of a local boy to this area. You're living in Glen Huntly?
Yeah, I live in Glen Huntly, so postcode 3163, and
Yep.
always loved living around here and doing a lot of deals out of Caulfield, where I was based before. The office opportunity came up, and I'm really happy now to cement the place in Carnegie and call it postcode 3163.
Viewers, it's very exciting for us because we've always done a lot of business in Glen Huntly and Carnegie and Hughesdale and Murrumbina, and of course we're doing an enormous amount of business in Bentley. So this is really our flagship in terms of moving through this area.
That's right.
And going where our clients are as more and more of our clients move into this area. And it's becoming so fashionable, isn't it?
It is. In Kunang Road, especially where we're sitting now, and unbelievable how much it's picked up the last few years.
Yeah.
Eateries and quality shops, and just amazing.
Well, it's really become a bit of a restaurant stroke cafe lifestyle
Very
strip
much so.
of Melbourne, and there's a whole range from everything from Thai to Indian to Chinese to Vietnamese to Italian to just a standard cafe.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's a real buzz feel. Like even on Saturday night, like if you come down the strip here as well, it's even hard to find parking. It's just the restaurants are chock-a-block just in relation to how many people are around trying to get in. But it's a real happening place now.
And what a great office from a profile point of view. We're directly on the corner. What are we on the corner of what?
Worrell Street.
The corner of Worrell Street.
Next to Carnegie Station.
Which is directly opposite the Carnegie Railway Station.
That's
Is
right.
opposite, so it means that everybody that's stopping at that boom gate,
Yeah.
and that boom gate seems to be stopped all the time, but anybody stopping there has got to look right at the office.
Exactly.
So it's an exciting location, and it's an exciting new chapter in the life and times of Gary Peer & Associates. Gary's unfortunately not able to be here today. His mother's not well, viewers, so we send all our best to Gary and of course to Edith Peer, who's been like a second mother to me.
Sure.
I've known her since I
lady.
was 12 years of age, so all the best our
all the
thoughts
best.
go out to the Peer family. Lior, as we opened your office last Thursday, or really last Friday morning, we also came into a weekend that was absolutely enormous in
Amazing.
Melbourne. Once again, a new record number of auctions, over 1,400 auctions in Melbourne last weekend. And we did our bit by having 26 auctions. What was our success rate?
22 from 26.
Which is amazing, and that's an 85% clearance. And we'll get our towers up because we had an 85% clearance, whilst the industry average had a clearance, I think, of 78%. And once again, I say to GPTV, 78% is an enormous industry average, but coming in at 85 is just terrific. Let's
Take
talk
that any
about
day of
some
the week.
highlights from the weekend. Where were you this weekend?
Well, the first one on Saturday, Phillip, we got you out nice and early. We did a 9:30 auction at 3 at 27A Bamber Road, Caulfield North. My brother Aviv Samuel and I were selling on behalf of some really good clients of ours. Really amazing offering time, 9:30.
Yeah, let's
we
talk
could
about that, because most of our auctions start from 10:30, and I remember a few years ago our auctions used to start at 11 o'clock, and we had this attitude, 11 o'clock's early enough, can we go earlier?
That's right.
So we moved all of our auctions to the half hour so that we could fit more in, so we did a 10:30. And we all took us a couple of months to get our head around to 10:30. So 9:30, I think we've done now half a dozen 9:30 auctions, and they've all sold very well, and that one went down terrifically.
Yeah, it was a great crowd, and two bidders competed for that one.
What was the reserve there?
Reserve was 615,
Yep.
and pretty
Final
much
selling price?
Yeah, we ended up selling for 660,000. We didn't even have a chance to refer the bid to the vendor. We just continued to go on, and 9:30 auction. It just shows if
And
people want it.
Special
they'll do that.
shout out to our vendors there. That's the second property property we've sold for them in, I think, about 3 months.
Exactly right.
And just the loveliest couple. So if you happen to be watching now that your real estate moves are over for the moment, special shout out to you both, because you are both a pleasure to work for. So Lior, the team moved on from Bamborough Road to Bolston Street. I think you did that auction?
No, it was Jeremy Rosen to that auction, but that was Michael Jonas from our St Kilda office's first sale. Really happy for him.
Congratulations to Michael.
Yeah, it was a great auction turnout there. There was a bidder passed in at $275 and sold shortly after for $295.
And worth talking about that one, Lior, because our viewers think that we sell a lot of expensive properties, and we do, but we also sell a lot of one-bedroom apartments, and that was just a really good, affordable entry into the market, a one-bedroom apartment. Love that position because it's walking distance to Carlisle Street. Lior, because we had such a big Saturday and Sunday, we're only going to talk about some auction highlights. So we're going to bounce all around Melbourne and all over the place. Let's talk about our auction in Cole Street in East Hawthorn. Unfortunately, the price there is undisclosed, but I can say that we had a reserve. We were quoting 8 to 9, and we had a reserve at the top end of that range. But our first and only bid was so far over the top end of our range, the buyer blew everybody out of the water. That was probably one of my quickest auctions ever. We started that one at 2:30, and I think at 2:37 I'd knocked the property down as sold. Just amazing, the strength in the market, and amazing what some buyers are doing to put their signature on a contract of sale. Let's talk about Mimosa Road. Tell us about Mimosa Road, even though I did the auction, but that's your patch, your territory, and thanks to Leon Guzenfitter, who did an amazing job there. But tell us about that.
Well, when I came into the auction, sort of 15 minutes before we started there, it was like I was trying to find a car park there. It was just bustling in relation to the crowd and everything going ready to commence the auction. But an amazing result there. Leon Guzenfitter had a great campaign there. We had a reserve towards the top end of the range. I think it was $850 to be exact.
Well, let's talk about that. This house, look, we'll bring it up on screen. It's probably up there at the moment, but that house was, I'm trying to be kind now, it was a renovator's opportunity or a bulldozer's delight, whichever way you want to call it. But we had a reserve there of $850. We had a crowd of at least, I don't know, 150 people. We'll put some video footage up on that auction, but we sold it for at $1,136,000. Going. Sold, ladies and gentlemen. Please congratulate the new owner and thank you.
$1,136,000.
So let's do the numbers on that. That's 150, 250.
Incredible.
Between $250,000 and $300,000 over the reserve. Just phenomenal, and goes to show really why we've opened an office in Carnegie. Yeah,
we love Carnegie.
Very exciting. Very exciting to be part of this new market. Lior, I want to talk about number 41 Bundeera Road, Caulfield South, which we auctioned on Sunday, which is a beautiful home, and we'll get that up on screen very quickly. What a great house, a lovely family home, but there's a great story to this. That we sold that property almost to the day 15 years earlier. So in the year 2000, we sold that property, and we sold it for $530,000. And yet sold it on Sunday under the hammer for $1,616,000. And the owners had done very little to this property. They'd done a few bits and pieces, but very little to the property. And just goes to show, in 15 years, that property had more than tripled in value. And there's been an old saying which says, Melbourne real estate values tend to double every 10 years. Now that's not always 100% of the time, but every time we've kind of talked about sales, it seems to be it's a fair and reasonable pattern, except this one tripled in value. So just extraordinary. We had a good auction, Lior, on Sunday in Tennis Grove. Tennis Grove's a great spot, isn't it?
Yeah, great pocket there.
Yeah,
Thelma Road. Walking
distance to Glenferrie Road and High Street and Orrong Road and Carlisle Street. We sold that property under the hammer, I think, for
$1,307,000.
Big price, that was quoted at $1,100,000 plus on the market, big crowd of people there, so it was an excellent result as well. But tell us about the auction that we did on Sunday together at home number 1 at 11 Pentle Road in Caulfield North.
This was an amazing story. I sell a lot of single level villa units, and I especially love the 1970s style, the solid brick ones. And this one of 2 on the block, owned by the same family since 1988, I believe.
Yes.
So one of the first owners there. Did a bit of a makeover at the property, an amazing campaign in relation to numbers through. I was expecting interest somewhere towards, mid to high 9s. Anything over $1 million was a dream price for the vendor. And lo and behold, Phillip, you did a great job there, dragged it out. You had a bit of a disgruntled high spirit at one stage during the auction, I must say, but we sold it for $1,231,000. I think a new benchmark for single level, one of two in Caulfield North.
Look, let's talk about that disgruntled purchaser so the viewers understand what that means. Look, the auction process is a nerve-wracking process for buyers, and the final bidder, it looked like it was going to be sold at $1,100,000, then at $1,150,000, and then at $1,200,000, but you know, the skill of good auctioneer is to keep the auction going, but the poor purchaser, or at least the purchaser's parents, were getting a little bit upset with me for dragging it on, but that's what we do, viewers. When you do employ us to sell, our job is to get you the very best price, and we try to do it with humour and respect to the buyers, but it is a nerve-wracking process. But we ultimately sold it hundreds of thousands of dollars over the reserve, and we hope that when that buyer comes to sell, they'll remember the great job we did. Leo, with no auctions over the Easter weekend, we have only got one auction to talk about, which is this wonderful block of apartments at 1 to 6 at 25 Camden Street, St Kilda, which is going to be auctioned tomorrow at 2 p.m. So Wednesday, the 1st of April at 2 p.m. Obviously, we had to hold it before 12 o'clock so there would be no April Fool's jokes. Tell us about this block and tell us about Camden Street.
Camden Street's a great pocket there off Carlisle Street. Block of flats, always a very popular offering. What a great investment opportunity for some lucky buyer there. Jeremy Rosens and Rafi Joffe have been handling the sale there. Expecting interest, I believe, in excess of $2,350,000.
And this is 6 two-bedroom apartments in pretty original condition with some land at the back and a right-of-way, and obviously just a stone's throw from the hip and happening Carlisle Street.
But you like to drink a lot of coffee over here.
I do, should be a good auction. So Lior, let's get back to talking about your Carnegie office, which we are so excited to actually have opened now, so congratulations again. Tell us a little bit and tell the viewers a little bit about your real estate history and how you got into the game.
Well, as a young 14-year-old at Caulfield Grammar, I used to spend a bit of time Saturday sport, and after Saturday sport on the Saturday, I used to go around on my bike and I used to watch auctions. This auctioneer named Phillip Kingston used to do a lot of entertaining auctions in the heart of Caulfield South at the time, and I took an attraction to it. I used to love your style, and sort of you got a lot of mentoring at my current auctioneering styles based on your auctioneering, but yeah, having watched many auctions with you and seeing Gary in the crowd, not doing much at the time, I must say, wanted to get into real estate, and I've been in real estate since I was 19, and been working alongside you guys for 8 years out of Caulfield, and amazing opportunity now at Carnegie.
I remember you from those times, and I remember we used to have these kind of conversations, and we'd have the chat, and I'd be jumping into the car, and you'd be jumping onto your bike to pedal to the next auction.
It's actually funny because I went to an auction yesterday, and you know, you sometimes as auctioneers, you and I are, we see people in the crowd asking us questions, like the younger generation, and it's really funny. Like, I sort of look at that and I smile, because looking back at that was like what I used to do. I'm just thinking, one of these guys, they might be the next us in future times.
So you went into real estate, and we know you went to work for a competitor of ours, and you had a very successful career there, but we always had our eye on you, and we always maintained a kind of dialogue. So for Gary and I, in terms of a personal journey, it's lovely to have you on board, and lovely to have you on board as a partner. We know you're going to do phenomenally well there. You're ably assisted by your huge brother, and he's huge in many ways. He's a huge stature. He's this gentle giant that has got the great ability to actually cut to the chase and find a buyer, and delivers this lovely gentle service. But we've got a great team of people, because when we took over the office, we also took over the existing staff, and we've got some wonderful people in the sales area. We've got some wonderful people in the property management division. So we really start the office not just with a small crew of 2 or 3, but we're already a team of 13 or 14 people.
That's right.
And we're really excited. There's so much development going on in Carnegie.
Unbelievable. In relation to Carnegie, just looking around Kunang Road, the apartments, and how many opportunities are going to come up to sell those, and even from a property management point of view. But yeah, I'm really excited about the new sales team that we're bringing on. Just to name a couple guys, Graham Callan, industry icon, especially out of Carnegie.
Been around here for a long time.
And the young Dimitri Kellner, who's working alongside me.
Yes.
Great energy, great attitude. He'll do really well.
And we've already got a really big property management division out of this office, and viewers, we can certainly add value to anybody that owns property in this area. And speaking of investors, one of the things that I always look for when I buy an investment is to buy something close to shops and public transport, and that's one of the great things about this area. Kunang Road, serviced of course by Dandenong Road, but most importantly this great shopping centre and of course the train station.
Yeah, for sure. And for us, you know, now we're here on a permanent basis, and years ago, having worked out, or just until recently, always worked out of Caulfield, you know, we were always upselling the buyers out of Caulfield, East St Kilda, Elston to the next suburbs down. So
Yes.
Carnegie for us was a natural progression. It was sort of like what happened with Elwood St Kilda. People went to East St Kilda, the
Yes.
next suburb down,
Yeah.
and then it just picked up, and especially around Carnegie, proximity to shops and public transport, but even those single level villa units, the new developments, they're really great offerings, and would love to obviously assist people when they buy. And
It's an exciting suburb. It's an exciting chapter in the new real estate story for Gary Pure and Associates. So really
Thanks, Phillip.
welcome to the fold and congratulations, and we look forward to doing amazing results. Viewers, we've got the Easter weekend coming up, so stay tuned. We've got a special edition of GPTV coming up over this weekend. Thanks very much for watching. Certainly please drop into our new office at 42 Kunang Road, Carnegie, and say hello to the Samuel brothers and the rest of the team. Leo, great to have you on board today.
Great to be here.